sedentary dogs live up to 2.5 years less than active dogs. This is not an isolated or exaggerated statistic. It is a documented scientific reality that millions of pet owners around the world are ignoring every day. If you believe that your dog sleeps all day because he is fine and satisfied, you may be shortening his life without knowing it. The truth is that sedentarism is silently stealing precious years from your best friend's life, and most people don't even realize this is happening. Today, we are going to explore exactly how this works, why it happens, and more importantly, how you can reverse this situation today. After watching this video, you will be ready to identify the main signs that may indicate that your pet is sedentary and running serious risks of having his years of life reduced due to a condition that acts silently. In the next few minutes, we are going to explain why the canine organism needs daily movement to function correctly, reveal the invisible damage that sedentarism causes to your pet's health, and show specific signs that you may be ignoring. Before we begin, please leave in the comments your name and the city from where you are watching our content. Let's start by destroying one of the biggest illusions of pet owners. When we see our dog sleeping 12, 14, even 16 hours a day, our natural tendency is to think that he is relaxed and happy. This interpretation is completely wrong and can have devastating consequences for your animal's health. Dogs that sleep excessively and show little interest in activities may be exhibiting signs of canine depression caused by lack of physical and mental stimulation. Veterinary studies reveal that healthy dogs should sleep between 12 to 14 hours a day, but these hours include light naps and rest periods, not constant deep sleep. When a dog is genuinely well exercised, he presents periods of vigorous activity interspersed with restorative rest. The difference is crucial and can determine how many years you will have with your companion. This confusion happens because we don't completely understand how the canine organism was designed to function. Dogs evolved as working animals over thousands of years. Their ancestors traveled extensive territories hunting, exploring, and protecting their packs. The canine cardiovascular, muscular, and neurological system was shaped to withstand regular and intense physical activity. When we deprive our pets of this basic biological necessity, we force their bodies to function against their own nature. A sedentary dog's heart literally weakens over time. Muscles lose mass and tone gradually. The digestive system slows down, creating problems that we often wrongly attribute to age or genetics. More importantly, the canine brain, which was designed to process complex stimuli during walks and explorations, begins to atrophy when deprived of rich sensory experiences. Research from Cornell University showed that dogs that receive adequate exercise maintain superior cognitive function until more advanced ages. Physical activity not only keeps the body functioning, but also preserves the canine mind, creating a positive cycle of health that extends throughout the animal's life. Understanding this, we can begin to explore the true invisible villains that attack sedentary dogs. These problems develop gradually, making it difficult for owners to perceive until it's too late. The first and most obvious is canine obesity. Recent data shows that 59% of dogs in developed countries are overweight. Canine obesity is not just an aesthetic or appearance issue. It triggers a cascade of health problems that drastically reduce the animal's life expectancy. Obese dogs develop chronic inflammation that affects the entire organism. Fat cells secrete inflammatory hormones that circulate throughout the entire body, creating an environment conducive to cancer development, which is currently the leading cause of death in domestic dogs. Longitudinal studies of 14 years with Labradors showed that dogs kept at ideal weight lived on average 1.8 years longer than their overweight siblings. To put this in perspective, this represents approximately 15% more lifetime, which in human terms would be equivalent to living 10 or 12 extra years. But obesity is just the beginning of the problems. A sedentary dog's heart needs to work much harder to pump blood through a less efficient body. Weak muscles mean that the cardiovascular system doesn't receive adequate support. Arteries lose elasticity and blood pressure increases progressively. Veterinarians report that sedentary dogs develop heart murmurs and congestive heart failure at significantly higher rates than active dogs. The heart, like any muscle, atrophies when not regularly challenged. Simultaneously, lack of exercise makes canine cells resistant to insulin, which directly leads to diabetes development. Inactive muscles cannot efficiently absorb glucose from the bloodstream, The pancreas works increasingly harder to produce sufficient insulin until it eventually fails. Diabetic dogs require daily insulin injections, strictly controlled diets, and constant veterinary monitoring. More importantly, canine diabetes frequently leads to complications like blindness, recurrent infections, and kidney failure. Perhaps the most tragic aspect of sedentarism is its impact on canine mental health. Dogs are social and active animals by nature. When confined to monotonous environments without adequate stimulation, they develop behaviors that mirror human anxiety and depression. Behavioral veterinarians observe that sedentary dogs frequently exhibit compulsive licking, mainly on paws, as a self-soothing mechanism. Other signs include excessive barking, destructive behavior, and social withdrawal. These are not just bad behaviors that need to be corrected, but symptoms of real psychological suffering. At this point, many people begin to think that these problems perhaps don't apply to their dog, especially if they have a small or elderly dog. This is one of the most dangerous perceptions in pet raising. One of the most harmful myths is that small or elderly dogs need less exercise. The truth is completely opposite. Small breeds like Chihuahuas and Yorkshire Terriers frequently have proportionally high energy levels for their size. 7 pounds extra in a small dog equals approximately 66 pounds extra in a human. The impact on health is devastating and happens much more quickly due to the animal's reduced size. Senior dogs, although they may need lower impact exercises, still require regular movement to maintain joint flexibility and muscle strength. Swimming, slow walks, and canine physical therapy can add years of life quality to elderly dogs. The idea that old dogs should just rest is not only incorrect, but harmful. To identify if your dog is suffering the effects of sedentarism, there are specific behaviors that serve as warning signs. Subtle but progressive weight gain is the most obvious, but also the most ignored. Many owners don't notice gradual weight changes. Do the rib test weekly. You should be able to feel your dog's ribs with light pressure without needing to press hard. Lack of energy for previously pleasurable activities is another critical indicator. If your dog previously ran to get the leash and now shows indifference to walks, this is a significant red flag. Excessive paw licking represents compulsive behavior that frequently indicates stress, anxiety, or extreme boredom, resulting from lack of physical and mental stimulation. Heavy breathing without apparent effort should also concern any responsible owner. Dogs in good physical shape shouldn't pant intensely after light activities, like climbing stairs or playing for a few minutes. The good news amid all these problems is that reversing the effects of canine sedentarism is simpler than many imagine. Start slowly, especially if your dog has been sedentary for a long time. Starting with 10 to 15-minute walks twice a day is sufficient to begin. Gradually increase by 5 minutes per week until reaching your dog's breed-specific needs. High-energy dogs like Border Collies need 90 to 120 minutes of daily exercise. Moderate breeds like Golden Retrievers thrive with 60 to 90 minutes. Even smaller breeds like Pugs benefit from 30 to 45 minutes of daily activity. But physical exercise alone is not sufficient. Dogs need mental challenges. Puzzle toys, fetch games, new trick training, and exploration of different environments are essential for canine psychological health. Consistency is more important than intensity. It's better to take 20-minute walks every day than a 3-hour walk only on weekends. Dogs thrive with predictable routines that they can anticipate and that become a natural part of the day. There is something deeply gratifying in observing a dog that receives adequate exercise. They exhibit vibrant but controlled energy. Their eyes are alert and bright. They interact with the environment and people in a more engaged way. Well-exercised dogs develop stronger bonds with their owners. During walks and play, they experience shared adventures that strengthen the human-animal relationship. They are more obedient not from fear but from satisfaction and emotional balance. Behavioral veterinarians observe that behavior problems like excessive barking, destructive chewing, and separation anxiety decrease dramatically when dogs receive adequate exercise. It's as if exercise unlocks the animal's true personality, revealing a calmer, happier, and more balanced companion. The numbers about canine life expectancy tell a clear and convincing story. The average life expectancy for domestic dogs is approximately 11.2 years. However, this average masks dramatic differences based on lifestyle. Long-term studies reveal that dogs kept at ideal weight live up to 15% longer than overweight dogs. This can mean 2 to 3 additional years of life for an average dog. To put in perspective, this equals approximately 15 to 20 human years. Dogs that receive regular exercise also experience what veterinarians call extended healthy life expectancy. They not only live longer, but maintain superior life quality for longer, remaining active and alert until more advanced ages. Typically, long-lived breeds like Jack Russell Terriers can live up to 16 years when well cared for. On the other hand, breeds with sedentary tendencies frequently experience reduced life expectancies due to complications related to obesity and lack of exercise. We arrive at the crucial point of this discussion. Every day that your dog spends in sedentarism is a day stolen from his potential life. But it's also true that every day of adequate exercise is an investment in future years of companionship and joy. The difference between a dog that lives 9 years and one that lives 13 years frequently comes down to the daily decisions you make about physical activity. You don't need to become an athlete to give your dog the life he deserves. You don't need expensive equipment or unlimited time. You just need awareness, commitment, and enough love to take the first steps. Start today, literally today. Get your dog's leash after watching this video and go out for a 15-minute walk. Observe how he reacts. See the change in his posture, energy, and expression. This is the first step to adding years to your best friend's life. Remember that the time we have with our dogs is limited and precious. Each walk, each play, each moment of shared exercise is an opportunity to strengthen this unique bond and provide your pet with the full and healthy life he deserves. Your dog trusts you for all his needs: food, shelter, affection, and yes, adequate exercise. Honor that trust. The reward will be a happier, healthier companion who will be by your side for much longer. Sedentarism may be stealing years from your dog's life, but you have the power to stop it now. The choice and responsibility are yours. Your best friend is counting on you.